Stand by my stream. A little technical difficulties, apparently.
All right. Let's try this again.
Yeah, sure.
How you feeling? Good? You back?
Apparently, I'm feeling better than my internet.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Welcome, everybody, to episode 34 of Not the Worst Podcast. This is the third time we're doing this intro. I am JD, and that over there is Anthony. And we're going to talk about some gaming news today. How you doing,
sure
Anthony?
Is. I'm doing all right. I am not going to go through that whole spiel I did last time, but I'm doing all right.
Okay. So anything for your intro?
Yeah. Air Force e-gaming has started up along with the Space Force e-gaming, and they have a match coming up of Air Force versus Space Force. And Space Force is a branch off of the Air Force, which the Air Force is a branch off of the Army. So we're all like bastardized children in the military. But just the thing we're going to cover real quick, how poorly the Air Force decided to organize this team and how little thought they put into why this is a bad idea to organize said team. You have a captain with 3 A1Cs, which is E3s in the Air Force. So 3 E3s with a captain. And if I rage during gaming, and then you throw in that rage with competitive gaming where there's prize money on the line, what do you think is going to be said to said captain if he feeds? Right. Diddy and I kind of had a little scenario run through earlier about what this may happen.
Yeah. There's going to be court-martials involved. Well, here's the thing, all right? First of all, it's almost a guarantee that the captain is the captain of the team, right? Because he's the highest rank. They'll have to go by chain of command for something stupid like that.
And they're not going to care about skill at all.
Right. They're not going to consider skill. And frankly, a captain is probably never going to be as good as an A1C because enlisted have a lot more time on their hands. We are far less educated and we are far less trained in specific skills. So we have a lot of time to sit around and play video games compared to a captain. I'm just saying he's not the best player on that team, but he will be the one in charge of them, and that's going to suck.
He's going to be the one writing the after-action reports for every game they play. He's going to have to write EPRs and LORs and for all these A1Cs.
How are you going to do EPRs? How are you going to do any sort of progress report from a competitive gaming team? Like, everything about that just...
It's
they're gonna have to write like a rule book, right? They're going to have standard operating procedures and stuff for the next people that come on to the team. Oh, God.
And I love the picture that they use to advertise this event. The captain's in civies, and one A1C's in OCPs, and the other two are in ABUs, because OCPs aren't official wear into April 1st of 2021. But if you look at Space Force, a brand new branch, so they never had a uniform before this. They went straight OCPs, so they're all OCPs. Now, my question is, are they going to be wearing uniforms, or are they going to have their own jerseys when they do these events?
Yeah, do you have to game in uniform? And even if you have a jersey, do you have to like make the jersey like perfect? Like,
and it's gonna have their ranks on their sleeves so they can recognize
their ranks. And, man. I would never do that.
We got a kick out of seeing this. We foresee LORs and maybe Article 15s in the future.
For sure.
I guess these airmen better hope they don't have the amount of rage I have, especially if I am getting competitive.
But in gaming, everybody has rage.
And they sure do.
It's just...
Professionalism goes out the window when you game. There's no doubt about that.
For sure. Anyway,
unless you're
on
Ritalin or something.
I just can't. I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
so bad. That's not going to end well for any of those kids.
Nope.
And you'll never hear about it.
Nope. This is probably the only time we'll ever talk about it, unless what we predict about Article 15s and LORs comes true. Then we may talk about it again to make fun of it. So,
yeah. All right, let's jump into our first topic. We are going to talk about the PlayStation 5. We said last week when we were talking about the Xbox.
You lied to me.
Why?
You said the Black Cat we're going to talk about first, so we can get a rage out. Go PS5.
Oh, is that what I said? Okay.
It's too late now. It's too late now. It is too late now. We're starting PS5.
Okay, we're gonna put the rage right in the middle then. All right. So we're talking about PlayStation 5 because last week we talked about the Xbox Series X and it was like a day before all the PlayStation 5 reviews came out. So we said we'd talk about the PlayStation 5 this week.
Yes,
And so
yes.
I've read a few of the reviews, and for the most part, the sentiment regarding the PlayStation 5 is pretty much the same as the Xbox in that it's a giant new shiny console. It's really fast. It's really easy to use. They talk about how you load it up and you can immediately see all the games that you can play, like even the PlayStation 4 games that are backwards compatible. And so that's really cool. Sorry about that. And then they
That's
talk
right.
about all the different deep dive stuff you can do with the PlayStation 5 and how it's large. Like that's what a lot of people were making fun of how large the PlayStation 5 was, but they said that part of the reason for that is that it has amazing cooling to the point where you can't even hear the thing when it's running.
Which is
Um,
good.
which is fantastic. A lot of the reports for the Xbox have been that it runs pretty warm, where the PlayStation won't have that problem. But for the most part, they've kind of been viewed the same way, as far as I can tell from the reviews. The nice thing about the PlayStation is that it has a few more games that people can test than the Xbox did. So, but again, it's still kind of against these consoles that they don't really have any good launch games. They don't really have any good things that can really test the system, that push the graphics to the limit and things like that. So these reviewers aren't really getting a good feel for how they handle 4K or even 8K content or anything like that.
Someone
But
was playing the Miles Morales game. Is that not 4K?
yeah, so Miles Morales is out. There's one called Astro's Playroom that's like, you know, it's more like a test game than anything else to help you get a feel for it. A lot of people have been playing the Bugs Stacks or Bugs Snacks, which is just kind of a cutesy game that came out for it. So there are games there. There are games that came out for it, and the Spider-Man game is excellent, really good from what I've heard. So obviously that's better than what Xbox had, which was literally nothing. Uh, so
Absolutely
um,
nothing.
yeah, but still, it's like it's only so much. Like they needed more, I feel like, especially since this has been around for months now and they haven't been able to generate anything. The other con that was generated against the PlayStation 5 was the solid state drive that's included with it. And this was a con I saw for the Xbox as well. Both systems come with a 1 terabyte drive, but there's already about 200 or so gigabytes taken up just from like the operating system and things like that. So you're only getting about 800 gigabytes worth of space.
Which
And
means
there
all you can play is Call of Duty Cold War, and that's it.
Right. Exactly. And that's exactly what they're saying. Like games are huge now. Like Call of Duty is it's a 200 gigabyte game.
You saw that
You
tweet I shared that said there's a actually Call of Duty Cold War Edition solid state drive that you can buy now, and that's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrible. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to come out with all these branded hard drives and special storage that you can add onto. They're going to have PlayStation 5 and Xbox branded hard drives that you can buy, and they're going to charge people ridiculous amounts of money. They're going to charge you like $200 for a 1 terabyte drive that you can hook up to it, and it's just uh I'm not a fan of that. I don't like it from a marketing standpoint. It just feels scummy. And in a world where we're moving to more and more digital, we need more space. These guys are ripping us off.
They really
So
are,
that really sucks.
and
Um,
that which doesn't make sense because it's not like you have to buy a Sony branded external hard drive to play. You can buy any hard drive. It doesn't even have to be a solid state. I don't know why you would do that, but if say you're on a budget and can't afford a solid state, which they're actually getting pretty cheap lately, especially this time of year. Granted,
yeah.
with the future of lockdowns coming around, the availability may not be there, so keep that in mind, and that's going to cause a price hike.
Yep.
So,
It
but
could.
Sony doesn't get any of that money from that solid state. That's the point I'm trying to make. So, what's the benefit of having a 1 terabyte solid state drive with 200 of those 200 gigabytes of that terabyte being used up by the operating system? Then, and Call of Duty is going to be 80 plus gigabytes. And even if they had the optimization like they did with the new Modern Warfare, where you can actually reduce the size, you still have to do the initial download, which you said was like
Right.
huge,
It was
and then you can
225. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you still have to have the space just to download it, and then you get rid of stuff. But yeah, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of the storage solutions on these new consoles. The other thing that I have seen are some people. In fact, there was actually an article on Kotaku, literally with this title, is that maybe looking back, the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X were not good ideas. Um,
No.
because now when we look at this generationally, what we're going to see is we're going to see the Xbox One, we're going to see the Xbox One and a half, which is the Xbox One X, and then the Xbox One or Series X, and
And there's not going
they're
to
kind
be.
of just they're each so incremental from each other that you don't really see the new generation transform. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the gap between the 360 and the Xbox One was so big, and then that's just not there for this generation. So they're
Yeah.
saying that maybe those older consoles, even though they sold
Oops.
well and they did fine, maybe those weren't such a good idea for this generation.
And that's gonna be the issue too, because I mean, yeah, Xbox. The only thing that the Xbox Series X is gonna come with is maybe the faster loading speeds, and then the other Xbox One X was 4K, but it was stuck at I think 30 frames per second. Now they're finally breaking that 30 frames per second barrier, so that's all you're gonna see is maybe a change in frames per second. I
Yeah.
know PS5 brags of what they had 8K, or did I
Yeah.
dream that? But again,
Somewhere in there, there's 8K.
but the reason why we're underwhelmed by that, there is just no
Nobody's
reason for
gaming in
8K.
8K. Nobody cares about 8K
Yeah.
for video games. Nobody has 8K TVs.
No. 4K TVs are finally
So,
dropping in price. Though I'm trying to figure out why a 70-inch Panasonic's 4K TV is $700 and a 65-inch is $1,000. I'm still trying to figure out how that.
okay. No.
Sorry.
Yeah. Stop. We can
Actually,
I can definitely answer that question for you, but we're not doing that
not
right
gonna
now.
get it. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, actually,
We could talk about TVs until the cows come home, but let's focus on the PlayStation.
they were talking about I don't know what article you're using to read on the PS5. I'm looking at Tech Radar, and they're saying there's actually 667.2 gigabytes of usable storage after you get everything set up and running, which they say can hold up to 16 games, 2 PS5 titles, which are Astro's Playroom and Marvel Spider-Man Morales, and various PS4 games like God of War and Detroit Beyond Human. So you're going to only hold 16 games, and that's not including Call of Duty, because Call of Duty we already know is going to take up a lot of that. So
yeah, the 667 thing is how it is at first, and then apparently after 2 weeks, there frees up like 200 more. I'm not really sure how that works. Some caching thing.
probably.
But But either way, it's stupid. In a
Yes.
world of digital games where literally these things don't even have drives for physical games, we're we're being forced to like manage our space, and that's just it's untenable, and it's not going to last for the majority of this generation. They're going to have to come out with a new system with more space because that's
Storage.
ridiculous.
Which is gonna be hard
But
because storage can actually drive up PC prices. I mean, the most expensive thing is your GPU on a PC if you want a decent
yeah,
GPU.
sure.
So and with the processor being probably the second highest you're gonna spend on if you want a decent processor, and then storage is gonna be right behind that in my opinion. I could be wrong. I know you can spend pretty penny on RAM if you really wanted, if you want to go all out on RAM, but
I mean, when it comes to SSDs, when you're getting above 1 terabyte, the prices just skyrocket with each
yeah, they do.
little bit of storage you add, for sure. Yeah, so it
Um,
definitely gets more expensive, and you can see why that they wouldn't do that because they're trying to keep their prices down. But they better figure out something.
And again, this is a criticism of both the PS5 and Xbox Series X. That I don't think we delve into the memory as much because Xbox doesn't really have a lot to offer on launch, so we didn't have a lot to talk about as far as games go. So for anybody that may be a Sony fan or is like, hey, why are you bashing Sony? This is a criticism of both consoles. They both are suffering from the same issue. JD also mentioned the load times for the PS5. They were talking about the load times for Spider-Man Miles Morales. Oh no, the Marvel Spider-Man, the one before Miles Morales, went from 15 to 20 seconds loading on a PS4 to less than a second on the PS5. So that gives you kind of an idea what to expect with the load times on this new console. Um, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff they're talking about for the Xbox too. Was the load times were amazing. The ease of use to get into the games and get things going was great. So there's definitely pluses to these consoles, but it just seems to me like you're better off waiting for updated iterations that will probably come out next year or something, or at
Usually
least
the
I don't know.
Yeah, now that they've been doing these like in between generation console releases, the newer ones tend to have bigger hard drives than the previous released, but the original base release console. They did that. I mean, that started back when Microsoft had the 360. Then you had the 360 Elite, which came out. Did it have a terabyte or was it 500 gigabytes? I know the original came out with 250, and then the Elite came out with more. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Oh,
it is. Go ahead.
go ahead.
I would say the only thing is, you guys, it's a little depressing. Everything's sold out for consoles. I did see an article saying Walmart's expecting to have Xbox Ones, X's, and PS5s on Thursday. They're probably already been bought online, or they will be bought pretty quick. And again, if lockdowns like everybody's talking about is going to happen again, we talked about this at the beginning of COVID. Everything gaming and computer related disappeared fast because nobody could go anywhere and do anything. So, and with it being a holiday season, everybody that can afford to get something like this for a Christmas gift or a holiday gift, whatever holidays celebrate, they're going to be wanting to get on these as quickly as possible. My best advice to you: don't be an idiot and buy somebody that's scalping you or price gouging. I would love an Xbox One X. Well, I don't want to say love. I wouldn't mind having an Xbox One X, but I'm not about to spend $1,600 on a console I can get for $500. So, I wouldn't recommend that at all.
All right, let's move on. It's
Yes,
time to rage. Yay,
yes.
rage. This is a really stupid thing that's happening. So, if you've been following the podcast, you know we've talked about this a couple times in the past, is that Twitch is being hit by DMCAs, which are basically copyright strikes for music from the official music industry for streamers that are playing that music, and it's caused a lot of problems for a lot of streamers. Some have been banned, some have just had strikes. Many of them have had to spend hours going through deleting old videos because the strikes come down onto
Mm.
old videos. And Twitch has not really done anything about it for the most part. They basically just said, sorry, this is the world we live in now. They came out with this thing called Twitch Soundtrack, which some people could use. And now they have, with all this crap going on, they got just, I mean, it's upsetting a lot of people. It's ruining some people's careers. They
Mm.
have decided to team up with a music label from Canada called Monstercat. If you've ever heard of the DJ Marshmello, he's with
Oh.
Monstercat. Okay. I think he did like an in-game Fortnite thing or something. I don't know. Anyway,
Mm.
um, so Monstercat is a music label, and they've teamed up with Twitch, and now you can sign up with Monstercat for $5 a month, and they will let you play all of their music DMCA free, so you can play their music without worrying about getting a copyright strike. And as a special bonus, if you're not streaming yet and you want to start, that $5 a month immediately gets you Twitch affiliate access, um,
Not
which is
immediate. Your account has to
well,
be active for at least 30 days. If
yeah,
it's not,
yeah, but it's
if it's,
not like it's
yeah,
not nearly as restrictive as
no.
what it normally takes to get affiliate. So the point here is that you're literally buying Twitch affiliate status, which is basically the first step towards getting paid for streaming kind of thing. Uh, and
It is.
it's kind of gross
It
like that,
is.
especially for other up and coming streamers that can't afford that $5 a month or don't care for Monster Cat's music, that worked their way up to affiliate by getting their friends to watch them and doing the work to put in the streaming hours, because you have to put in like 500 hours for affiliate or something like
Mm.
that, and you have to have 50 followers, and you have to maintain an average of 3 viewers. You don't have to do any of that with Monster Cat. You don't have to put in
No.
any of that effort to get started on your little streaming career. They just give it to you. Um,
You guys think that's not a big deal?
ugh.
Just 50 followers and an average of 3 viewers on That actually, you don't know how many people like you can get 50 followers real quick, but the issue is a lot of people are like, oh, I'll help you get affiliate. They follow and then they never come back, so you never get the
Right.
average viewers. So
Right.
it's a struggle. Some people get it quicker than others if they're lucky and find an organization that helps carry them through, like Regiment or Team B42 or something like that. But if you're trying to do this on alone, um, it took me forever to get affiliate because I could not get the average stream. I got as high as like 2.79 viewers, but could never break that for the longest time.
Right. Yeah.
So
So it's not just us that feels this way. A lot of streamers are kind of upset that this even exists as a thing. It's kind of, I don't know. It's like Twitch is, it's the first step on a long, gross road where Twitch is basically just selling people the rights to earn money for them. You know what I'm saying? Like all the money you earn as an affiliate, Twitch is taking a cut of. So this is Twitch. This is you paying Twitch
mhm,
to pay Twitch more,
exactly.
right?
And some of you are thinking, well, that's easy. I'll make that back with one sub. You don't get the full $5 from that one sub for starters.
Right. Yeah, you
And
don't even
second,
get close to the full 5. You get like less than
and
half.
exactly. And then even if you did get, let's say you got 3 subs at $4.99, which gives you a little over $5, give or take. You won't get that money right away. You have to wait till you hit $100 before they pay you out. And by the time you hit $100, it's you have to make sure it's during their pay period. I think it's like before the 15th of every month. If you don't hit that 100 before the 15th, you're not getting that for another month. So you can go through several months of paying for this affiliate or this Monstercat Gold before you actually start seeing payout make it worth it. Now, some people can argue, well, people are already kind of buying affiliate in a way to begin with by using bots, paying for bots and stuff. Like you always get those spams in your chat saying you want to achieve affiliate or partner status. Click here to learn how, and then some way you pay like certain amount of money a month, and they flood your stream with bots to make you look like you're doing something. And Twitch was cracking down on it. I'm assuming they're still cracking down on that and banning a
I'm
lot
sure
of
they
that stuff.
always are trying.
Um, which is kind of ironic. It's kind of like what Fallout did, where they had free mods for the longest time for all the Fallouts, and then Bethesda cracked down and says, "No, no more free mods. We'll give you paid mods though, but no free mods." And if you
Yeah.
ran a unlicensed mod, you actually got banned from Fallout 76. So that's basically what's happening right now with Twitch in a way. I mean, maybe not as extreme as Fallout, because Fallout just went all party pooper on everybody and shut that down real
Yep.
quick.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a spit in the face for everybody that worked hard to get to affiliate, because there, and unfortunately there are people even before this that made affiliate that don't really deserve affiliate. Like I don't really deserve affiliate. My stream's not growing because I'm not entertaining enough, but I got it. I worked hard for it. But now somebody can come up behind me, pay $5, and they get affiliate immediately. Affiliate's already oversaturated as is in Twitch, and Twitch as a whole is oversaturated, and that has a lot to thank for, because a lot of people did flee to Mixer, but Mixer's dead. Now we got Facebook Gaming. I don't know how well Facebook Gaming's doing these days. I mean, YouTube has its live streaming, but it's, from what I understand, not as great as Twitch. So it is what it is. It's kind of crappy, and it's not a good look to what's to come for Twitch in the future. Let's just put it that way. That if they're willing to do this, what are they willing to do next to monetize?
Well, and that's the thing. Like over the years, Twitch has slowly lowered the esteem of all of these things. Like even partners. Partners used to
Mm,
be hand picked by
yeah,
Twitch back in
that's
the day.
true.
And now you can just earn it and it's just automatic, and then you can start making money, which, brings up the point, why can't everybody just immediately start doing that in the first place, if it doesn't really matter who has the check mark and who doesn't? And this deal with Monstercat kind of says it doesn't matter, because if you can just buy your way into the affiliate program, why can't you just buy your way into the partner program? And that's the road that we're going down, to the point where streaming isn't really going to mean anything, because anybody can just pay $50 and become the streamer that they want to be. I don't know. It's just, the whole thing's kind of rage-inducing. And it
It
just
really
kind of
is.
shows that they don't really care. Twitch doesn't care about the work that people have put in to become affiliate or to become partner. They don't care. They just want to make money.
And it's also going to be very misleading. I mean, people like JD and I know that it honestly it'd be kind of foolish for you to spend $5 a month to get affiliate unless you have a surefire way to ensure constant growth in your stream where people are giving you bits or donating or are subbing to your channel. Because just because you get affiliate, I don't know if a lot of people don't realize this. Just because you get affiliate doesn't mean you're going to be the next ninja all of a sudden.
Right.
I've been affiliate for I think 2 years now, and I average 1.7 viewers a stream. So that should tell you something. Granted, I'm also very inconsistent with my stream. I suck at games, and I'm angry all the time. So that doesn't help me. But the point is, there's certain things needed to be successful in a stream. It's either skill, personality, or what some people some other topics that I'm not going to get into because we're supposed to be semi PG.
And also a whole lot of luck.
Yes, a lot of luck does help too.
A lot of it is just pure luck.
Even Ninja got lucky, didn't he? No, who was it that got big real quick?
He did.
Yeah.
All of them all the guys that are really big, they all got big based almost entirely on luck. I mean, they're guys like Tim the Tap Man and all of them. There's people that they were streaming with, that they were partnered with and doing things with, that never blew up the way they did, right?
But they did. Like they just happened to.
And they were all on equal ground. They were all the same people doing the same things, but then this one went big and this one kind of stayed the same. Stuff like that. It's just luck, man. It's a lot of it. Certainly you can definitely earn your way up into some higher viewership and get a nice audience going. And there's definitely mid-tier streamers that do just fine, but getting up to like Ninja's level is, I don't know. It's just not going to happen for most people. For 99% of people, it's not going to happen.
Especially if you play oversaturated games like Call of Duty.
Right.
Yeah, you'll probably see more viewers than I will playing Rogue Company. You'll definitely see more viewers than I would when I play War Thunder. But you're not going to hit the hundreds of viewers for Call of Duty because everybody's playing Call of Duty. And if big streamers are already playing Call of Duty, all the kids, which honestly is a lot of these viewers, are going to go to the big streamers, the ones that everybody knows. So it's a lot of luck. Somebody just happened to stumble on your stream and you either slowly build up or you just explode out of nowhere. Networking does help, but not everybody has the ability, the skill, or the time to network. So
sure.
But
I think that's about it for Monstercat. It's stupid, and Twitch is stupid, and everything is stupid. The end.
You should write the next Lego song instead of everything is awesome as everything is stupid.
You're all dumb, and I don't want to be here. All right. Let's go on to the next topic. So we're getting to the point of the end of the year. Where a lot of websites and a lot of organizations like to put out video game awards, the best games of the year and the best games in different categories and that kind of thing. One of the biggest shows is the Game Awards. It's the one that's actually, watched on TV and stuff. And the Game Awards have just put out their new nominations, the different categories and the different games that belong to each category. I don't think we'll go through all of it, because they put out quite a few, but we can talk about at least the Game of the Year nominations, which is an interesting list. And let's see. I got to pull up the graphic real quick. Okay, so for the Game Awards, for Game of the Year, they have 6 nominations. It's Animal Crossing New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. So I'm actually surprised Doom Eternal's even on there for some reason.
I am too, honestly. That's a little shocking.
I mean, it wasn't a terrible game, but it feels a little out of place. I mean,
in those. Yeah. My leaning would be between Ghost of Tsushima and maybe Last of Us Part 2 for taking that one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played either of them, but because they're both Sony exclusives.
I haven't either. I haven't played either one. Hades, I've heard a lot of great things about. A lot of people have really loved Hades, but I feel like that's kind of an underdog. It's not from a huge company. It's not from a huge um, gaming organization or anything like that. So it kind of feels like if that won, it would be an underdog. But it could be Animal Crossing.
It could
Neither one
be.
of us have really played Animal Crossing, but we followed the news and we know how big that game has been.
A lot
It's
of that
been
had to
huge.
do with COVID, though. COVID helped
Yeah,
that a
I mean,
lot.
so
That's true.
still, if that's what helped it get to where it was, then that's what helped it. And a lot of people just really liked it. It was, I mean, COVID and a lot of things that have happened in 2020 have been really stressful. And in a time of stress, the way this year has been, Animal Crossing has been quite the relief for a lot of people
Hmm.
because it's a pretty chill game.
I mean,
So
people got married through it, for crying out loud. So
yeah, yeah, exactly. People were getting married. There were uh, um, like porn stars and prostitutes that were using it to their advantage. All kinds of things. Joe Biden had his own island. Like this Animal Crossing was just everywhere. Everybody
I
was doing it. Everybody had something going on. I
AOC.
watched a stand-up comedy show on Animal Crossing. Did I ever tell you that?
No, you
A
didn't.
comedian a comedian built her own island, built a house, and built a comedy club in the basement of her house on her little island, and then did like an online comedy show. It's-
That's funny.
Yeah,
I,
she like everybody joined via Zoom to her Animal Crossing island.
well, she did a stand-up comedy. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's funny. So I mean that game might not have been the best game, but it
But
was
it did a lot.
definitely super big in the culture, right? So that's interesting. Yeah, and
So what would
I
you
don't
be?
see I just don't see Doom Eternal or Final Fantasy VII Remake making it in. Like,
I
I
don't
think
even
it's
think
weird there's
remake.
even a remake on there.
I would say I don't even think remakes should count in a category like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I mean,
nothing's new.
they did a lot of new stuff in it. They had
Did
new
they?
voice actresses and stuff like that.
Oops.
Um, but yeah, I don't see those two making it. Hades would be a super underdog choice. I've heard lots of good things about Hades. A lot of people have told me, or not told me, not like I go around asking people, but I've just seen online that a lot of people have been addicted to that game and played a lot of it. Um, Last of Us Part 2, I would
Disappointed a lot of
say,
people.
yeah. And that's the thing. Like, if this is from like an executive standpoint, like it's just companies paying to get their games up here, then yeah, maybe Last of Us Part 2 wins
Yeah,
because it's such a detailed oriented game. But if this is from the gamer's perspective, that game was way too controversial to win the game of the
yeah.
year.
So
Um,
okay,
so I'd say it's between Animal Crossing and Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima amazed and wowed a lot of people. From everybody heard it, loved
Yeah.
it. It was fantastic. So and that's I guess I kind of picked Last of Us Part 2 for my two choices because of just because the popularity was from the first game being from Naughty Dogs and what they're known for doing in their games. So
Yeah.
maybe I jumped the gun on that one because yes, JD was right. There's a lot of controversy behind it and the story of it. Without giving spoilers, there was things that went on in the story people weren't happy about, both diehard fans and idiots. To put it,
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it away from Last of Us Part 2 to win it
no,
for sure because it was such a detailed game, and it had a lot going for it. Um, I don't know. I think probably Ghost of Tsushima or Animal Crossing would be
okay,
my best
so that'd be
choice.
JD's. So we agree
Yeah,
on one, and we're
yeah,
kind of torn between the other two.
yeah. Kind of torn.
It'd be
Um,
nice to see Hades win. But yeah, I can't see.
what
It's
what do you
possible.
think was snubbed here? Do you think were there any games that came out this year that should be on this list that aren't? For example, one of the Twitter comments was, uh, Ori and the Will o' the Wisps, which I don't know if you know that game, but that was a really beloved game that it's not super advanced like some of these, but
There
um,
was a lot to it. Yeah, I actually see
yeah,
the comment you're talking about.
yeah,
Um, I mean, I don't know enough about Ori or Ori or whatever it's
yeah. I've
called,
never
Will o' the
played it.
Wisp. But I know a lot of people did enjoy playing it. I've seen a lot of people play it on Twitch and amongst my friends. So yeah, I could say based on what I have seen and know about that game, it probably definitely deserves that spot over Doom Eternal and maybe even over Final Fantasy. Honestly,
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I could
So
definitely see it replacing one of those easily, for sure.
whether or
Yeah,
not it'd be competitive enough to actually take the title, I don't think so. Because Ghost of Tsushima,
right.
I get a good feeling about Ghost of Tsushima. JD's probably right about Animal Crossing though, because of the impact it had to this year. So
That's it's tough to ignore that cultural impact that Animal Crossing
yeah,
had. Um, I mean, so yeah, yeah,
maybe they
okay.
felt like putting
I'm okay
Doom
with that.
Eternal in there because the meme crossover between Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal. Maybe they just felt obligated to put it on there because of that.
It could be. So yeah, so all right. So
Yeah,
I think the nomination list is pretty good. I can't really think of anything that maybe deserves to be on there except for Will o the
Ori.
Wisps.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, all right. Let's try a different category here. We're not gonna go through all of them, but there's definitely some interesting possibilities. Ooh, the best mobile game. Um, so we have wow, these are mobile games. Okay, so
Yeah.
the nominations for this are Among Us, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, and Pokemon Cafe Mix, which obviously
Okay.
is a mobile game just from the name. But I did not
Yeah,
know Genshin Impact was a mobile game.
I did not
Uh, I've
either.
I've seen people playing that game, and it looked pretty advanced for a game that you can play on your phone. Um, and I'm surprised with these that there's not like Fortnite. You know that because they added mobile stuff for their game. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad Fortnite's not on there.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, I don't want to see Fortnite on any of them, but I'm just
I don't
saying,
even
like,
want to see Call of Duty on here. In my opinion, Call of Duty doesn't even belong on this list, but
yeah,
that's fine.
yeah,
It's gonna be tough though. If from an absolute gamer standpoint, the popularity of Call of Duty has a chance to probably take it. But Among Us is pretty popular too.
Among
There's
Us is
actually
super popular.
almost had a cult following behind it at this point.
Yeah,
Fall Guys started, but Fall Guys wasn't mobile. But Fall Guys started to have a cult following, but that died really fast.
yeah,
I think Among Us had a lot to do with that. And there was a saboteur amongst Fall Guys, and it was Among Us. And Genshin Impact, I don't know a whole lot about it.
I don't
Um,
either, but I know it's been pretty popular, and a lot of people have liked it. I don't know. I would probably say Among Us for mobile game, just because I imagine that's pretty
yeah.
accessible mobile wise, and pretty much anybody can play that.
Hey, it's the only game you have the ability to, and I'm saying this not in serious note, but to how can I say it? Harass a Congress member and get away with it.
God. All right. Moving on. Let's do one more category here. Best action
Hey,
adventure game. Shut up. I'm not. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting into this with you. Best category for action adventure. Here's the games: Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and The Last of Us Part 2. Now, can I just
what?
say I assumed some of these games weren't going to be nominated because they were too soon released. Like I'm actually kind of surprised Miles
Miles
Morales is not
Morales,
on Game
yeah.
of the Year list. I would definitely put Miles Morales over Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I'm kind of surprised by that. But anyway, so what do you think for best action adventure game? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was really good. I wish I had spent more time with that game.
Fallen Order was it was actually pretty good. It was entertaining, and I still need to beat it. I just have short attention spans for games like
Yeah, me too.
Fallen Order. It's gonna be really hard for me to beat it,
Yeah.
and maybe I need to start doing that so I can calm down some of this gamer rage of mine. Granted, I did get mad at the game because it is, as a friend of ours put it, it's baby's first Dark Souls. Is pretty much
Yeah.
so
Pretty much.
it can have some rage inducing moments in it. For some reason I don't see that list. I went off the link you put in our chat. I didn't, unless you're looking
Oh,
at a
it's just
different one.
one of the tweet replies. I don't know. I was just going through
Somehow.
it.
What? Oh, anyway, I like I'm a fan. I'm a sucker for everything Spider-Man. So that part of me wants to say Miles Morales, but at the same time, the realist in me is like that literally has been out a week. Same with
Right.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Assassin's
So
Creed, yeah. Yeah, neither one of those has been out very long to generate to like be known as a good action
Yeah.
adventure game because nobody's really played them yet. I mean, I know a lot of people have like beaten them and played the crap ton of it, but
What were
I
the?
don't think Valhalla's gonna get it
No,
because
there's
from
no
what I've
way.
heard, there's a lot of filler stuff in that game. Ghost of Tsushima was the other one. Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and The Last of Us Part 2 for action adventure. I don't think Last of Us Part 2 would win that. They could definitely win Game of the Year, but I don't know. I think that game's a little
No,
too cinematic for action adventure kind of thing. I don't know. It could go. I think it could go to Ori. It could go to Star Wars. I would put my bet on Spider-Man, Will of the Wisps, or Star Wars Fallen Order. Those are the three I would think.
yeah, I would think that's fair. I and Spider-Man Miles Morales is just, in my opinion, just because it had, especially when it comes to something like Valhalla as the most recent of the games on those lists, Valhalla and Spider-Man Miles Morales. Out of those two, it has more potential to take that title than Assassin's Creed. In my opinion, I enjoyed Odyssey. I probably will enjoy Valhalla, but Assassin's Creed's kind of old and tired to me. It's,
Sure.
it's my same opinion on Call of Duty. It's something that's just been done so much at this point. They do very little to innovate with it. The most fun I have with Assassin's Creed, in fact, the only Assassin's Creed I beat was Black Flag, and to this day is still, in my opinion, the best Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
So, because they actually
I know.
did something
I never
different,
really even played them after Black Flag. That was pretty
you
much
know,
the last one I played, more or less.
and
So yeah.
that's because they actually did a lot of different things with Assassin's Creed. And I think that's what's lacking in video games these days. There's very little, like in these title games that go like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Assassin's Creed. They come out so often with very little to offer. It's like kind of hard to get unless you're a diehard fanboy. It's kind of hard to get excited about these things.
Yeah. Sure.
So Miles Morales between those two, Will Wisp, and yeah, Fallen Order. I don't think Last of Us can take that one. Maybe Game of the Year, Last of Us can take that one, but and I'm sure there's people gonna hate me for that, but that's how I see it. I will take Miles Morales over Last of Us between those two as
Sure.
well. So
Yeah. All right. Cool. There's definitely a lot more nominations. We're not gonna go through every single one.
no,
They have like a dozen of them, but those are some big ones and some interesting ones to talk about. We will have the Twitter link in our Discord, just like we do every episode. So if you want to go check out the rest of the Game Award nominations, you can do that. That show is going to be on December 10th, so be ready for that. It'll probably be available to watch online and stuff like that. So yeah.
obviously there won't be any big public events for these things
Right.
because it's we all know what current year it is.
Oh, the
So
Rona. Yeah, right.
So
But
it's 2020.
and in addition to this, keep a lookout for from your favorite gaming websites like Polygon and Kotaku. They're all going to be coming out with their own end of year award show things. So that'll be fun to look at. Maybe we'll do a podcast episode where we do our own breakdown of stuff. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for our topics. Do you have anything for the outro?
No, just honestly, the only thing I got is if you guys could do me a huge favor, when I do these charity streams, and like I said, if you can't donate money, or if you can, even $1, I'll take $1 because every little bit helps. Can just share the link. I last month was breast cancer awareness. This month is Shellback Tech, and who knows? I'll probably be doing another one next month, which will unfortunately be my last one because I will be leaving the country shortly after that. Which, with that being said, keep that in mind, guys. JD's gonna give him some time. He's gonna have to come up with some creative ways to keep this going without me, because I know I carry this show, and it's gonna be hard without me being here.
It's true. Without you, I am nothing. It's true.
But other than that, that's all I got. We made 34 episodes. I'm pretty stoked about it. We're slowly growing on the podcast platforms. My YouTube channel is consistent, but it's my YouTube channel. Nobody cares about my YouTube channel. So,
amen. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, you can use hashtag NTWP on Twitter. you can use our handles, which are in the description of every episode. And if you want to see the links, like for the Game Awards nominations or for any of the other things we talked about, you can join our Discord, which is also linked in the description. And we post the links in the Not the Worst podcast channel there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and as for anything else, we'll see you next week with episode 35.
Have
Thanks
a
for
good one,
listening.
everybody.